Question 15. A function of x is defined as given there. If you have to sketch the graph of this function in the domain between x lying between 3 and -3. Okay, let's set up little axes here. You notice it's defined in this domain here between 1 and -1. Now this one, function 1, for x less than or equal to -1, will begin up here and go that direction there, and we include that point. This one here between -1 and 1, that's y equals -x, will go down to there. Okay, and that will include this point here, going through the origin. And -1 for x greater than 1 will just simply continue on. So now between 3 and -3, well, there'll be 3 here. And that'll still be the -1. And here that will be -3 here, and that would still be the 1. Now I've got to evaluate this. So function -2 would have to be equal to 1. Function 1 would have to be equal to here -1, and function 2 also equals -1 down here. So that would be equal to 1 plus -1 minus -1. So these would go out, and just -1 gives you +1. Okay, this one. A region is defined by these inequalities. Let's store that. So we've got our circle of radius 2. And that would be all points inside that, including the boundary. Now the y equals the absolute value of x would look this way. And of course, that would be all these points here, will be greater than here. So that would include just this little section in here. That would be the region. And the area, well, the area is quite easy because the area of a circle is pi r squared, so it's pi times 2 squared, which is 4 pi. But you can see here, this is at 45 degrees, so that would be 1/4 of the area of the circle. So the answer would be, area would be equal to pi. That would be the region R. It's pi unit squared. Okay, right, continuing on here. Given this, so we're going to find gx in the simplest form is first of all work out what function a plus h is. So function a plus h is equal to 1 over a plus h. So gx will be equal to 1 over a plus h minus, so just 1 on a, so function a is 1 on a, 1 on a, it's h there. Okay, all over h. Okay, so this becomes a here, minus, now what's the sign? Minus a minus h, all over a outside of a plus h, divided by h, divided by h. So that's going to be minus h over a into a plus h. Invert and multiply 1 on h. These go out and you get minus 1 over a outside of a plus h. And hence find gx when h equals 0. When h equals 0, we get gx is equal to minus 1 over, that'll just be a squared. That's h equal to 0. function is defined by this. Find the domain and range. Now this has to be positive, so x squared minus 4 is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Factorizing this. So on our number line, that's a 2 and a minus 2. So in fact, it would be greater than 2, x would be greater than or equal to 2, or x is less than equal to minus 2 is the domain. The range, well, this is just going to be positive, so the range function x is simply going to be greater than or equal to 0.